All right, guys, how's it going? This is Justin here. Let me go ahead and pop on my video thing. So, one of the questions that I've proposed to our group before is what do you say whenever someone asks you like, hey, what do you do? And when I was in the financial industry, this is a great tool we had um, when it comes to prospecting or talking to people, right? Because if someone came up to you or like at a networking event or you were just having a conversation with someone out, um, out in public anytime, if you're someone who, communicates, talks to people all the time, if I'm in the financial industry and someone's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I sell insurance. They're going to run, right? That's one of the biggest things. People are like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to you. If they're like, I'm a politician, I don't want to talk to you, right? So there's a simple strategy that you guys can use when it comes down to conveying what you do more effectively. And there's multiple terms for it. You can call it your elevator pitch, you call it your pitch deck, whatever, right? Ultimately, you have to remember that when you're talking to people, that you have to be human. And this is something whenever businesses are talking to other people or business owners or people who are in sales or rely heavily on making sales, which again, every business is in sales, whether they want to think they are or not, whether it's selling French fries, it's selling hamburgers, you're selling shoes, you're selling electronics, water bottles. You have a business that does axe throwing. You have a rage room, right? Like these are things that I obviously do. If you own a pizzeria, if you own a trucking company, in order for you to make money, you are in sales. So you have got to start accepting that premise first and foremost. So when someone asks, what is it that you do? Are you just saying like, I own an axe throwing venue, or I own a rage room, and I own a pizza shop, I own a cell phone repair company. I'm just looking about things that um, made me think, right? So, in order to be more efficient with talking to people, you've got to implement how, what we do, so that they. So, how, what we do, so that how identifies a problem that your target market has. This is imperative when you're talking to people that you already asked, like, hey, what is it that you do for a living? Like, I'm a doctor, I'm a event planner, I install blinds, or I work for a construction company, right? And they ask, well, what do you do? Like, how, what we do, so that they, how is identifying the problem. What we do shows that you are the solution, and then so that they is the outcome of that solution or how you're making their life better. So let's say someone came out to me and I own a rage room and everything, right? And let's say I've been having a conversation with them, or they tell me like, hey, I'm a parent, my kid's birthday's coming up, or I'm just like, these are things and that you can use even if you're trying to talk about your sales, right? And so like, hey, let's say they call me up on the phone, like, yeah, my kid's 15th birthday party's coming up. I'm looking at your location to possibly host a party. So how, what we do, so they. And I'm like, okay, hey, that's awesome. Well, how typically moms, again, you don't have to be like, well, exactly how I said it. How moms are having issues, whatever, right? How, what we do, so that they, right? But how typically moms trying to have the best parties, the best memory making experiences for not only their kids and their friends, but also for other parents to be able to have a little bit of a fun just coming and hanging out with kids at the birthday party instead of dealing with, random cakes and characters and everything. What we do is we provide an outlet for parents to be able to provide a very fun, safe environment and a unique experience for their kids so that they can have those memories. They can also look like the best parent ever in the world by having a great party at our location with our rage room, rage painting, and free axe throwing as well. And that's what we want to focus on. So again, that's just making it up. You should be working on and practicing it. But I enjoy making stuff up with different audiences too, right? Same thing with business owners or people who want to have date nights. How, what we do, so that they. So I'm identifying the problem is that most time when parents are trying to have birthday parties for the kids, they want to be seen by their friends' parents as the fun mom or the go-to or whatever the case may be. They want to be seen like that. And I know it may be vain, but again, you have to market to vanity. Okay. People will buy based on emotions and not necessarily on logic. So when you start putting these emotions or how you discuss this to your prospects when you're talking to them, they're going to see you instead of just as a XYZ rage room owner or a pizzeria shop or a windshield repairman or um, a painter or something. They're going to see how you're going to solve problems. And so when I'm talking to these parents, I know already that the problem that they have is that one, they don't want to have just boring birthdays for their kids. They're willing to spend the money. We have people who spend close to $1,000 each time for these birthday parties. Why are they doing it? It's because the problems that they want to overcome is looking at having boring birthdays. They want to make sure their kids are well taken care of for their birthdays, that they have fun, unique experience, all the things I mentioned. So it's very important when you're going through these processes of understanding how you're talking to people matters, right? So if I'm talking to a business owner, I'd be like, well, you know how um, a lot of employees are overworked, overstressed right now. The economy's hard for them. What we do is we provide business owners an outlet so that they can send their employees here for a low monthly cost per employee, that they can come here, have fun, break stuff, go into our rage rooms. Um, so that way they release stress and they don't bring it to the workplace. That's something we can use to leverage like our monthly memberships and corporate partnerships where, they pay us every month and employees get to come in for free for them, free for the employees, but cost the company, right? There's things that you can do. Again, I'd be perfect the first time you do it. You're going to change it up a lot, but the fact is that you have it dialed in. So start working on the way that you actually communicate with how you help solve problems by first and foremost understanding who your target audience is, in this case, who you're talking to, and how your company can solve their problems that they may have, right? So just start thinking about those things. That's what I like asking these questions. Like, whenever someone's like talking to you about your business, about what you do, what do you say? So there's just some simple ways for you guys to do that. Again, what we do, so that they. So anyways, if you guys have any questions or anything, just shoot it to us and we'll help you guys out.